do a quick video about all the junk, or I don't know, the treasures I've gained from school. This isn't all of it. Let's start at the fun and work back, I suppose. This here is part of a brush cutter. I used to have a clutch on that I'm going to be putting on an engine that I'm going to get off eBay for like £19. It's got a clutch and hopefully doesn't have the same problem that the Micro 500's got. Problem is, I hate it at the moment. Sitting at home, I can't do anything, and I can't talk to anyone on YouTube because they're all at bloody school. So I've finished now, and but that thing, I'm going to buy an engine off eBay. I have got a brush cutter attachment to plug onto it, but I can't find it at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to connect this style of thing up to it. I might just, because it's going to go onto an engine that's this shaft's just meant to fit onto, what I might just do is fit this shaft onto the engine, and I have this bit on here as well. I just cut it off here just so I don't have this big chunk there. It doesn't really do that much. And then I want to buy some of the Ryobi Expand It range things, so I can anything can just plug onto the end. It's got hedge trimmers, chainsaws, leaf blowers, tillers, lawn mowers, like little hover mowers, which are probably crap. There's so many things you can plug onto them. This thing here needs to be put onto that engine there, but it's got a drive problem, that engine. The little like square hole in there is only half a square because it snapped in half. That's got like kind of curves down where a big bit of it snapped off. So I'm just going to weld the shaft in here on. I'll weld that straight onto the engine, because if I take that thing off, it'll lose timing. So I have to weld the shaft on. Then I'll just kind of, because this shaft will be stuck on that engine, all I have to do is just slip it back into here. Now, I'm fine. Does work. This here, believe it or not, I actually got my Briggs from school. This was on a tractor that I was given. This was the tractor. It was a Countax hydrostatic Rider 30 ride-on mower. It's actually a 400cc. 400cc. It doesn't tell you. Oh yeah, that's the displacement. It's got a bore of 87.3mm and a stroke of 66.7mm. This hedge trimmer and that, those lopper things, I'm actually borrowing at the moment. They're not mine. I'm just borrowing them because we're going to attack a hedge in my front garden. I was meant to do it at the weekend, but we had rain. Needs to be given some thought, really. Right. This thing works alright at the moment, I think. There we are. Yeah, so that engine's going on the go-kart, as you know. This thing is a Manfield lawnmower. It used to have like a Chinese copy engine on there. It wasn't a Honda. I'm not sure it was. I don't think it was a Honda clone anyway. Probably not. It was some clone engine of some sort. Took that off because it was a pile of shit. I tried to blow it up with no success. And now I've bought this engine from a boot fair, which I don't know if you Americans know as a swap meet, I don't know, but that cost me £15. Runs great, good mower. Just need, the only thing this engine needs now is these engines. If it's overhead valve and you've got because it's overhead valve, you don't have a valve spring cover, you've just got the overhead valve cover. Whoops, daisy. Ow, my foot. Which is not. Oh man, I just chipped my paint, didn't I? No good. I'll touch it up later. But the one thing this lawnmower does need is this cowling replaced. It's held on with like 3 or 4 screws. This whole back panel will come off. The chute is damaged, where like, big bits of metal have come up and smacked this here. That's got a big crack, a big hole in it. But this here's all chipped off. This here isn't actually like the bottom edge. This here should come out to around here somewhere. It meets up with this, it should go all the way around. It should be covered up here as well, but it's all snapped off. So I'm going to replace that, and I want to buy a transmission. You just and run the drive belt out through this hole to the crank. And that little thing, oh look at that, that's no good. I've got some paint, I'll touch that up. Forgotten now. I can't remember. But I can't remember what I was talking about. On that thing. Yeah, I want to put the transmission on it, and I want to. Oh yeah, that was it. That's the little thing underneath the flywheel on there. It's not an oil pump, it's the PCV valve. It's underneath the flywheel because it leads to the little tube where. Hang on. Oh, yeah, it is on. It leads to the little tube which goes to the air filter. All of this stuff is stuff I've acquired or made at school. That there, I cut that while I was at school. That exhaust, I cut it up, measured it all at school and brought it home and welded it together. That's off the other lawnmower, that's off the other lawnmower. I've got a set of piston rings for these little cheapy engines because where I live in Britain, a lot of people you would know Argos and all their little cheapy engines. A lot of people will buy them. They don't last very long, so if I ever do any work on them and they need new piston rings, I've got a set of them I can stick on it. These ones, in places that are a little bit scorched, got a little bit of water damage on it, but it's no biggie. That thing can be chucked. It's just here just because it's something I've got lying around from school. Shrouds for a little engine like that one. I've got a little stepper motor which I've never ever been able to get it to work because I don't know how to wire it. I've got a spare piston fuel tank. This is part of an old oxyacetylene mini torch. It's got oxy and gas, which just needs the tip on it, and then it needs oxy and gas. I did actually have the unit, but it didn't work. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Moving on to the go-kart. Fuck. Oh yeah, and that's part of the tractor I had. That was the front like column on it, which used to go up to the steering. Would have been this bit here. I actually had a neon on that. If I can find my phone, I'll show you it. I put a blue neon on it. That's the dead man handle for this, because when I put the transmission on it, I'm going to use that handle. I've got to find some sort of plastic thing which goes here or here, which holds the cables. This one didn't have it when I got it, so the other crappy engine that was on there I couldn't even start. Everything about this go-kart I actually got from school, believe it or not. All the tyres came off the tractor. Steering came off the tractor. This plate, which extends the steering, is welded on here and here. That came from school because I cut it there. Pedal came off the tractor. Actually, no, the cable that didn't come off the tractor. This piece of plastic which holds the cable down, that's part of a washing bowl. A little chain link welded to it. The spring, which I can't remember for the life of me where that came from. This whole frame is made out of a table. Well, two tables which I got from school. These were the actual parts of it which run the length. Cut them up, welded them together just to double up the strength. Welded that on either side. These bits are legs, they're legs. This bit here is a leg. These bits here were reinforcements which went across the sides of the tables. The axle, I cut that at school, machined it on the lathe with these little bits on the end for these clips to go on. And this hub thing which holds the disc brake on, that came from school. It's just a little block of copper which I machined on the lathe, which was also easy, but I don't think that's going to be strong enough. I might have to machine a new one. I might even have to buy another lathe. This is another piece which I made at school, which was going to be part of the other axle from my other design, because I wanted to have the engine on in the original position at one time, but I couldn't be bothered now. And that's really about it. So, I'll see you later.